Welcome to this explainer. I'm Tom Meyers, an osteopath and a Fitfull Futures Explorer. Look, if you've been leading a business lately, you already know the staggering speed of AI is changing our world at a pace we've literally never seen before. And sure, it's incredibly exciting, but let's be totally honest with each other here, it might also be silently exhausting you. So today, we're going to dive deep into the biology of exactly why that is, and more importantly, how you can reset your body and your strategy to stay ahead without completely burning out.
Here is our quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover the pace of AI, the biological software problem, the reset approach, engineering your future DNA, and finally, becoming Futurewise.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the pace of AI.
You know, it is so easy to sit in the boardroom and project this massive excitement about AI and technological progress. I mean, it's the professional thing to do, right? But behind closed doors, we really need to ask honestly. Does this staggering speed secretly leave you feeling completely overwhelmed? Do you ever find yourself wondering how on earth you or your team are possibly going to keep up with whatever comes next?
Well, if you're nodding your head yes right now, take a deep breath. You are absolutely not alone. Look at this. A massive 80% of people globally feel like the world is just changing way too fast for them. So, feeling this strain? It's not a weakness at all. It is a profound, shared global experience.
Which brings us to Section 2, the biological software problem. Decades ago, the futurist Alvin Toffler actually gave this exact phenomenon a name. He called it future shock. He defined it as the physical and psychological overload that's caused by just too much change happening in too short a time. You see, psychologically and physically, our human nervous systems are entirely wired for stability. So when we lose that predictability, we simply overload.
Think about it like this. On the outside, you look like a modern, highly capable business leader. But on the inside, your internal biological software hasn't had a significant update in about 12,000 years. Our stress responses are literally wired for an era where tomorrow looked exactly like yesterday. But today, we're living in an era where tomorrow looks absolutely nothing like yesterday. And this is a massive evolutionary mismatch. It's directly causing the symptoms you or your teams might be silently battling right at this very moment. We're talking about chronic stress, anxiety, musculoskeletal pain, cognitive decline, and eventually, just complete burnout. This is the growing friction between our ancient biology and our hypermodern AI-driven culture. So, the absolutely crucial point I want you to take away here is this. Technological progress is not the enemy. The problem isn't the AI itself. The real problem is the unprecedented speed, the unpredictability, the sudden loss of control, and the resulting stress that totally overloads our ancient biological systems. We are simply not wired for this pace.
Let's look at how we fix this in Section 3, the reset approach.
From a business perspective, we cannot ignore this reality. If your people are overwhelmed, mentally overloaded, and stressed out, they simply cannot adopt new technologies. Fear is a mind killer. In a state of chronic stress, literally no one has the headspace, the patience, or the mindset to sit down and learn a complex new AI system. If your people feel threatened, your company's innovation stalls. It's that simple. So how do we solve this? Well, we obviously can't just go knock on the doors of tech billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Sam Altman and ask them to, hit the pause button on technological progress so our 12,000-year-old biology can catch up. That's just not going to happen. The technology is not going to slow down for us. Instead, the change has to start right inside the body. As an osteopath, I created the reset approach to use targeted biological interventions that deeply reset your physiological stress responses. You literally have to physically release the tension and create that biological headspace before you can effectively lead your organization forward.
And once we create that headspace, we move to Section 4, engineering your future DNA.
Jeff Bezos actually has this famous piece of advice. He tells businesses to build their long-term strategies around the things that will remain stable over time. He says to ask what won't change. We need to take this exact business philosophy and apply it directly to our own humanity.
In this context, we need to create your future DNA. Now, what does that mean? It means identifying the core elements of your human needs that do not alter, regardless of what wild new AI drops tomorrow. It's a framework that creates real stability through massive change. It provides you with a stable North Star, an image of the future to guide your decisions, your choices, and your actions when the world around you is completely volatile. I mean, think about how you lead your company. Do you just toss a coin into the air each morning and let gravity decide your corporate strategy? Of course not. You'd be out of business in a week.
You create rigorous business plans so you know you're making the right choices and steering the ship correctly.
Yet, paradoxically, when it comes to our own lives and our own well-being, we so often leave our future to a whatever will be mentality. We literally leave it to chance. But to truly flourish in an AI-driven world, executives have to stop leaving their own adaptability up to chance and start building a human-centered business plan for themselves.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, Becoming Futurewise.
Futurizing yourself basically requires these 3 distinct steps. First, you have to deeply know what you want and need to thrive. Second, you develop that future DNA, that unaltering core we talked about. And third, you create a crystal-clear vision for your future based on that DNA. This is the exact process that turns future shock into future-wise behavior. It allows you to adapt beautifully without feeling like you constantly need to outpace the machines.
Please let this sink in. If we continue to innovate technologically without evolving ourselves and without a clear human purpose, we're absolutely not solving the mismatch. We are just scaling it up. Integrating shiny new tech into your business without taking the time to fundamentally reinvent your own biological and strategic frameworks, that just means you are amplifying the stress.
So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. To truly lead your company through this chaotic era, aren't you entirely overdue for some dedicated time and space to step away? To take an executive retreat from all the noise, deeply reset your biology, and engineer your future DNA? The future isn't something that just happens to us, It's something we actively shape. So are you going to leave your future to chance, or are you ready to futurize yourself? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly, highly encourage you to carve out that vital space to step back.